Hi, everybody. I am excited to be here with you today to talk about Ask Me Anything, the Fall Move-In Edition at UMass Amherst. I'm going to give things another minute for folks to log on. We still have a number of folks who are registered to get logged on. So we're going to take another minute and I'll get started. I think we are at our start time. Um, welcome. My name is Sarah Rostales. I work in facilities operations at UMass Amherst as part of a team that plans fall move-in for students. So what I am going to be doing today is going over a broad overview of how move-in works. And we are recording this webinar and we will have it available on our fall move-in website for review later, as well as the entire presentation is also on there. And we will have time at the end for questions that you may have. We have a Q&A and a chat section. It is easier for the panelists in the background to answer your questions that are put in the Q&A section. So I would ask that you try to use that. And we'll drop in any links that we want to that we need to share with you there as well, including the link to our fall move-in website, so that you can see all the information that I'm about to talk about here. So with that said, I will get started. So here is getting ready to arrive to fall move-in at UMass Amherst. Couple of dates to keep in mind. The first one is Monday, August 3rd. And that is when students are going to find out where they have been assigned to live on campus. And at the same time, they also find out their roommate's name and contact information so they can reach out and connect about who's going to bring what to the room. So that's Monday, August 3rd. That is assignment release day. The next date to keep in mind is Monday, August 10th. And that is the date that the move-in reservation process will open online. It will be in the StarRes portal, the housing portal, and students will log on at a particular time, and they can choose from a selection of times to move in. So our move-in reservation is half-hour time blocks. The first one starts at 8 a.m. And then we have time blocks every half hour on move-in days until 4:30 that day. So that move-in reservation runs from the 10th to the 13th. And then we start moving in our students. You'll see early arrival day, which is probably not a lot of folks who are on this webinar, but that is Monday, August 31st. But the majority of our first year students are going to move in on Wednesday, September 2nd. And then the rest of them will move in on Thursday, September 3rd. And it's all based on what hall you are assigned to live in. We then move in the rest of our multi-year students on Friday, September 4th. The weekend, September 4th through the Labor Day holiday, is reserved for unassisted move-in. So if anyone is unavailable to arrive on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, they are welcome to make a reservation to come the 4th through the 7th, and that is unassisted. So there is not the same move-in assistance as there would be on the 2nd through the 4th. Okay. We have 3 different types of move-in styles on our campus. The first one is our minute mover style, and minute movers are students who arrive back here. They get paid, they come early to campus, move themselves in, and get trained. And then they are assigned at the halls to greet families and students at the car. They help pull your items out of the vehicle, put them into as many bins as it takes to empty out that vehicle, and then they help get the items up to the room. So that is an assisted move-in with minute movers, and the majority of our halls are moved in that particular style. The other style is through our professional movers that we hire, and those particular areas or areas of our campus that are moved in by the professional movers are Commonwealth Honors College, all of the Southwest Towers only, and Sylvan residential area. Okay, so that move-in style looks a little different from the minute mover one that I described earlier. When the family and the student and the vehicle arrive at their hall, at a professional moving hall, nobody gets out of the vehicle. The movers will come to your vehicle, they take everything out, they put them in the bins, they label them, and they bring it up to the room. There are staff on the floors that have keys to let them in, and so they will put the items into the room, lock the door, and about 95% of the time, once the family is done parking the car and walking back to the hall, the items are in the room. I see, Cass, that there's a question.
Hello. Yes, we have 2 questions in the Q&A right now.
Sure.
I just wanted to kind of do them live in case anyone else is curious. So we
Yeah.
have Erica asking, due to our family situation, we are going to pay for early arrival on the 31st. How
Okay.
early can we arrive on that Monday to start moving in?
Okay. So that's also going to be a move-in reservation. So on Monday, the 31st, the earliest move-in reservation for that particular situation is going to be a 9 a.m. Move-in reservation time. So when your student logs on to make their move-in reservation on August 10th, they should look for that particular time. They will see move-in reservations throughout that day.
Awesome, thank you. And then we have another question. I might be misunderstanding it. Bana, if you are listening, if you can correct us. It says minute movers and professional movers are charged. I think you're asking if we have to pay extra for those professional movers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what the question is.
Okay. So, so there is no fee to the student or family to be moved in with the assistance of minute movers or the professional movers. And around this time, we also get questions usually of, can we tip them? And we're going to ask you not to do that. We pay them. We ask them not to accept tips. And so, you know, if that, I think that answers the question, but if not, feel free to throw another question in there.
Yes, they did confirm that that was what they're asking, so
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. Free
We've
service to
got,
students and families. Absolutely. Yep.
ooh,
So
here's a good one. Oops, so sorry.
oh
We're getting
yeah,
some
please.
questions now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are we limited to one car we can use to move in?
Okay. Thank you for that question. I was definitely going to get there. So we have a one carload of belongings rule on our campus. We will help to unload one vehicle's worth of belongings. There are many reasons why you may need to bring 2 vehicles to campus or more, and that is fine. However, only one of those vehicles will be allowed to unload at the hall while we are assisting. Okay, and once I get to that portion of the presentation, I will speak more to that. So the last type of move-in is an unassisted move-in, and so anybody that moves in prior to September 2nd or after September 4th, that's an unassisted move-in. You are able to drive to the hall, unload your vehicle, sign out a bin, and bring the items to your room yourself, and then move the vehicle out of the way. So the unassisted move-in is the last type of move-in type that we have on our campus. Every move-in reservation is going to generate a boarding pass. And so we do ask that you print out your boarding pass and bring it with you to campus. And that is going to have an identifying QR code on it that associates you to your room and issues you your key. So that is the boarding pass. On our website, you will find all of the traveling routes that we request that you use, from getting to campus, getting to our check-in locations. There are 2 locations on our campus to check in based on where you are assigned to live, and I will go over those a little later. And there are directions on where you're designated to park as well. Print your boarding pass, bring your U-card or a photo ID if you don't have your U-card yet, something that identifies you so that we can issue you your key when you arrive to campus. Make sure you pack as much of the belongings as you can in the car that's going to go to the hall. If you're going to pack a second car, make sure they're light items that you can walk to the hall yourself. Okay. If you are going to bring a second car, have that person follow you through the check-in location in getting your key. And then at that next step is when they will peel off and go in a different direction. They will go and park the car, walk to the hall, and meet you up there. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to bring to campus. Folks usually ask about how can I send things to campus. So folks who are out of the country or out of state, we have a luggage program, and you can send items to the school in advance. And we do our best to get them put in the room before you arrive. If they're not in the room, they'll at least be at your service desk to pick up. But the luggage program is on our website. And if it's something you're interested in, I would take a look at how to do that now. There is a designated time of when those items need to arrive here in order to get them to you in time. We also have a vendor called Micro Fridge, and they offer the rental or even purchase, if you wanted to, of a unit. It's a microwave and refrigerator combination unit that they will have in the room. If you order it by August 1, they will have it in your room by the time you move in, right? So that's one less thing to pack and lug. And also, if you find out on August 3rd that your roommate also scheduled to, rented one, they do let one person cancel their reservation, and then those 2 folks can work it out amongst themselves around maybe sharing the fee. So a really good vendor. The link is on our website as well for Microfridge. And then at the end of the year, the student just cleans it out, wipes it down, and unplugs it, and they come and get it after you're gone. So it's a very good, convenient option. All right. So around what to bring, there's a really big list on our website of things that we suggest you bring. I am going to say definitely bring a fan or two. A lot of our stores are already out of fans by the time move-in happens around here. And the only residence halls on our campus that have air conditioning are North Apartments, which are traditionally not first-year freshman halls, and Commonwealth Honors College. So Oak and Sycamore for first-year students are air-conditioned, but everything else are not. So definitely bring a fan or two. It gets very warm in the halls. A reusable water bottle. All of our residence halls have hydration stations, and so your student can refill their water bottle right in the lobby every day. So bring a water bottle. And then lastly, I would say if your student needs to have a medication, then have them come with at least a 30-day supply, and don't rely on, at least in the beginning of the school year, when our mail and package delivery is incredibly high. Have them bring a 30-day supply so they're not waiting for a mailed prescription to get to them. Or we do have UHS pharmacy here, and you could just move the script over to UHS and have them fill it here. All right. This photo here is really great. And that is the bags, the vacuum sealed bags that really help with packing and getting everything in there. So really recommend that you do that as far as packing things. All right, so once again, we have a 1-car rule, and that means we will only unload 1 car's worth of belongings. So that car can be a U-Haul if need be, or it can be, a standard vehicle. So just 1 car per student. So if you're coming with 2 students, absolutely, 2 students, 2 vehicles worth of belongings. If you do come with 2 cars, you'll see here that's what this family did. And they are, after they were informed upon when getting their key that they are going to need to condense items into 1 vehicle, we do have locations at our check-in locations where they can pull over, transition some items, and figure out who's going to drive what vehicle and whatnot. So it's best just to plan ahead and have that 1 vehicle ready to go. So here you can see these folks did have a 2nd car, and they're carrying those light items up from the parking lot to the residence hall. Here's where I also like to share that planning in advance as far as what to expect when you get on campus. Many times our residence halls just don't even have an elevator. They don't exist. And then other times, for example, in our halls where the professional movers are moving in the belongings, the professional movers are using the elevators. Pedestrians will use the stairs. If anyone has a medical need that they need to use an elevator, they will make an exception for that. But everybody else is using the stairs while the belongings are being moved in through the elevators. Okay. Recommend that you wear, appropriate clothing and comfortable sneakers. We have a very walkable campus, and there will be a fair amount of walking that day. So plan for that. Folks who are arriving to campus by Uber or Peter Pan bus or maybe any other personal Lyft service. We recommend that you get dropped off at our Brommery Center for the Arts. There's a bus station there, or a bus stop, I should say. And we have a shuttle that we will then take you and your belongings to your check-in location and then to your room. So don't pay that, professional service or that private service to wait in line to get your key and get to your hall. Just stop. We'll bring you and get you to the next place with your luggage. If you're staying at the Campus Center Hotel the night before, which some people do, we will also pick you up there and you can get a ride from us. I am just going to skip over this part for right now. Sorry if it's making you. Okay. So East check-in. So I mentioned earlier that there are 2 places you can check in based on where you live on campus. The first one is called East check-in. That is for anybody who is living in Northeast, North Apartments, Sylvan, Orchard Hill, or Central residential communities, okay? So all folks will enter the UMass area from the north and come in and they'll follow this north residential drive and come into this giant parking lot in lot 44 behind North Apartments. The first thing they're going to do is show their boarding pass and get their key. Also at that same time, a student staff member will place a colored placard on their windshield, which will then is kind of their ticket to the residence hall. After that, dining is out there. They are a wonderful partner of ours that goes out and they will hand out bags of water and little snacks throughout the day to just help keep you nourished as you prepare to get moved in. After getting your snack bag, we have you line up in the parking lot and based on what hall you're moving into. And you won't actually get told to go to your hall until someone at the hall calls the lot and on radio and says, send me a car, right? So we don't send you out there until there is space at the hall to be unloaded. So that is the process there. Now, for folks who are living in North, Sylvan, and Northeast area, the parking lot for parking your car is a little farther away from the area. And so we run a pedestrian shuttle from the parking lot, which is down in this corner. These parking lots are designated for parking for move-in. And then we'll run a shuttle all day on assisted move-in days that travel from the parking lots and drop off here at Northeast and up here at Sylvan. And then it just turns around and keeps going back and forth throughout all 3 days of move-in. So if you're the driver of the car, look for that shuttle after you've parked and get yourself back up to the residence hall area. And that's a picture of that shuttle there. So the other area for check-in is called West Check-in, and that's for everybody who is assigned to live in the Southwest area and Commonwealth Honors College. Now, they will all come in on Route 116 and come in here right next to all the athletic fields. And they're going to travel behind the athletic fields. And then their first stop is to get a snack from dining. They'll come behind the McGurk football stadium, and that's where they'll get their key. And then they'll queue up and to be then sent off to get unloaded at their hall. So those are the 2 check-in locations. It's east or west. Right. Cass, do we have any questions that I should, related to that process, that I should hold right now and answer?
Yeah, we've got a couple. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through them. We do have someone that asked if the shuttle is available for early arrival day move-in for the Northeast area.
Yeah, it is not. I do know, and I don't know if you're an international student, but the International, let's see, Office of Global Affairs does run a shuttle that day for international students. If that is your situation, I would check in with the Office of Global Affairs about their offerings. Otherwise, we do not have a shuttle that is on early arrival day.
And then we have another question that says, can I arrive in an RV and do the professional movers do early arrival days?
Okay. So the professional movers are only on assisted move-in days, September 2, 3, and 4, to answer that part. Can you do an RV? Absolutely. However, we would like to know in advance and make sure that we are prepared for that size and that the travel pattern we've designed for your hall is not, a couple of our spaces used bridges, right? Like you go under a bridge. And so there are maximum heights. So what I am going to ask you to do, please, is to contact residential services, maybe send us an email or give us a call, residential services at umass.edu. And once you know where you're living, and give us the heads up that you're going to be arriving in an RV so that we can be prepared and make sure that the travel pattern designed for you is going to be the right one, or if we need to come up with a different plan. This is not new. We've had to do it before. So we just want to make sure that we have space for that particular size vehicle. Anything
And thank
else?
you. And then we just have a couple similar questions that are
Sure.
essentially um, for during assisted move-in time and
Hmm.
outside of assisted move-in time. So after
Okay.
6 p.m.,
Yep.
where can we park basically? Where do we park and unload? Where can we park to
Mm-hmm.
then walk to the hall and unload?
Okay. So in the evenings, um, you will have the ability to park in parking lots that are outside of the residence halls, so not near the residence hall, so other folks are able to park and unload, but near. And so this is, from 6 p.m. on. Um, Parking services is not not monitoring at that hour of the day. So, but other days between business hours, we do designate, and they are all listed on our website, what the designated parking lots are for families to park in during the business hours, because these are university business days that staff are here as well. So. Okay.
And
All
then,
right. Yep.
we just had
No,
one pop up that's kind of related to cars and parking.
sure.
This person says, I want to bring my car on campus. How do I go about doing that?
Okay. So I'm going to assume that this is a student who wants to get a parking permit. So parking services is the department that you would contact and check out their website and see what parking is available. I'm not familiar with their timelines and when the permits are becoming available, if they're already available. That's not an area that I'm familiar with. But parking services is the department you would check in about having a car on campus.
I did send them the link in the
Mm,
chat. And if anyone else on this call is interested, parking permits are available for purchase. I just checked.
thank you, Cass.
But it looks like that's all we've got for now.
Okay. All right. So then I'm going to kind of move into setting up your room. Um, so a lot of times, this is an example. This is a family who, arrived and started to set up their room. Want to highlight that as you are setting up the room, many times folks want to maybe loft their bed, or unbunk the bed. So want to highlight that we have a fire suppression system on the ceilings that is quite sensitive, and if touched, it could go off and it would be very damaging to all of your belongings to have all that water spray everywhere. So just look up before you start swinging things around and make sure you're aware of where the fire sprinkler head is, okay? The other thing is, all of the beds, I believe, start at captain's height in the room. So if you do want to loft your bed, lofting kits are available in the residence halls. You do not need to reserve them in advance, or you actually can't reserve them in advance. They are first come, first serve. There is a listing on the fall move-in on the website of what room number in every building you will find the lofting kits stored. What I would recommend you bring is a mallet to kind of help you bang that lofting kit into place. I see there's a hand up. Joanne?
I just want to reiterate some of the parking stuff because there was a
Oh,
couple
sure.
questions after that.
Yep.
They say, I heard you say after 6 we can park anywhere. So you might want to just reiterate that's not technically everywhere. And then asked about how far they would be walking if they ended up with a second car.
Yeah.
The whole
Okay.
thing.
So parking after 6, our parking lots are kind of designed around the residence hall communities. And some of them might say that they are a 24-hour permitted lot. So you would not want to park in a 24-hour permitted lot, meaning, other folks can't park there ever. And as far as, oh, Joanne, what was the second part of the question? I'm sorry.
They were asking where will the car be parked? How far will they be
Oh,
walking with
walking,
extra
sure.
items? Yeah.
Yep, yep. That really depends on the hall that they're assigned to, but I would say it could be up to, an 8 or 10 minute walk to get from the parking lot. For the most part, it's probably a 5 minute walk, but it could be up to an 8 or 10 minute walk. Right. So I think I was talking about lofting kits. And also there are bed rails available. Those are a reservable item that you would need to reserve once you're on campus. It's not something you can do in advance. And bed rails can be added if you feel the need, if you've got your bed bunked real high and you would prefer to have a rail on there. So keep that in mind. I already talked about the hydration stations. Every residence hall has a laundry room, and if you haven't heard yet, laundry is going to be free next year or included in your housing cost. So brand new laundry machines next year or this fall. So take a peek for your laundry room. There are kitchens. There are mailboxes, so we still deliver letter mail. So each student will get a combination code for their mailbox and to get your letter mail. And there's a trash recycling. And then also, as you're moving in and throughout the year, if you ever notice anything of an emergency kind, water running that can't be shut off, broken glass, a door that won't lock, please contact our emergency maintenance area at the number that you see here. And we are staffed 24/7 to take those calls, and we will dispatch someone to take care of the emergency situation right away. Now, in our residence halls, there are 8 different residential service desks, or we abbreviate that to be RSDs. And I like to equate them to kind of the front desk of a hotel. They have your backup key if you get locked out. They have temporary access cards. If your U card is lost or you don't have one yet, they can give you a temporary one. And they also accept all of the package mail that comes, and they will log that, send you an email, or send the student an email and tell you to come pick it up. New for this year, we also have Amazon package lockers on campus, and there are 6 different locations throughout our residential communities. So if you see, if you're sending something to your student and you see the different locker locations, that's what it means. And that is new for this year with Amazon. Now, this photo here, I talked earlier when I was talking about medications and getting mixed up in the early mail. Like, this is day 1 mail delivery at one desk. Like I said, they receive so many initial packages at the beginning of the year that there is a little bit of a delay in the beginning to get packages delivered. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, there's a 40-pound limit to what can be accepted as a package in the residential service desk. So, okay. Lastly, here is our resources. So we are residential services. We are here Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30 Eastern time, Monday through Friday, to answer your questions. And I am going to ask Cass if there are more questions.
I'm not seeing anything pop up right this sec. Oh, we just got one. We've had a few questions come in about where to purchase like household items for dorms and things like that.
Sure.
So this person has asked, when can we order items from Costco or Walmart to be delivered to the campus directly before the move-in date? Is this possible, and what is the process for this?
Okay. Well, Cass, I'm going to ask you, what's the first day that the service desks are receiving mail?
Excellent question. So the first day that the residential service desks will start accepting mail-in packages is Monday, August 31st. So that's going to be early arrival day. Please note that during the 3 main move-in days, which are the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, our RSDs will not be able to accept package deliveries because the delivery trucks will physically not be able to get onto campus because of all the move-in traffic. So we do pause deliveries for those 3 days, but as soon as Saturday comes around, we do resume deliveries right away. So it kind of, not to get too into the weeds, but if you order things kind of ahead of time, depending on your carrier, whether that's USPS, UPS, FedEx, it's kind of up to them if they will kind of hold on to your package or if they'll return it to sender. So I just want to put that out there. I advise you to not rely on different carriers to hold your package for you. If you order it too early, they might just end up returning it.
Right. Thank you. And then the other part of that question was, where can we get some household items? So I have a few suggestions. One is there is a program on our campus called New to You, and it's a thrift store. And at May Move Out every year, they collect so many things, so many wonderful, useful items that students leave behind. They spend the summer cleaning them up, making sure they work. Things from refrigerators to microwaves to dishes and plates to rugs and you name it. Okay, so they do a tag sale on Saturday, September 5th, near their store. So that's in the Southwest residential area. And it's called the New to You tag sale. And I believe it starts at 9 a.m. that morning. And they sell things very, very inexpensive back to the students and keep it out of the trash stream. So there's that. And then also just down the road within the bus system that we operate, there are several houseware stores available for shopping if need be. Joanne, I see you have your hand up.
Sorry. Just to go back to the Walmart stuff, if you want to talk about the delivery people that we can't accept at the desk. So like Walmart personal deliveries don't come to the desk.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not as familiar with that, Joanne. So I am going to suggest if folks are interested that they should check out the website. I'm sure it's the residential service desk portion of the website. I'm sure it's outlined the best delivery methods on sending things to our campus. All right. Any other questions?
And we have Erica typed yes into the Q&A. I'm not sure if that's a yes. I have another question, so maybe we'll hang on for a sec.
Yeah, sure.
We have had some questions about the laundry machines, just for anyone else curious, wondering if we can use pods or liquid detergent in the laundry
Yes.
machines. Yes, you can do both. I did, maybe Steve, you might know, it's okay if you don't. Somebody asked, how often are the laundry machines cleaned by custodial? I said we're not really involved by them. We don't know their schedules. They are cleaned, but I'm not sure like how often.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how often either. But we can
Okay.
if we could probably find that information if someone wanted to email residential services, we could get a response.
Yeah, sounds good. We do have Erica wants to know the approximate height of the curtain rod in the closets in Mary Lyon Hall.
Oh my. I
Yeah, I'm not sure
am
if we have that info for you.
So that's not a detail that I have. However, what I understand is that there is a fantastic resource if you're a Facebook user called the Family to Family page. I'm not on it. They actually only allow parents on there. So, but everyone raves that the folks on there know the size, dimensions of everything. And like, so that could be a resource for you. But I'm sorry, I don't know that detail.
They do. I'm also not a parent, so I'm not part of the page. But if anyone else is curious, they also do frequently post like photos inside of dorm rooms. I know a lot of people are curious, like, what does the inside of a room in Gorman look like? And
Yeah.
sometimes people will post little room walkthroughs, so it's kind of a decent resource to use.
Yes. Yep. So that's the Family to Family page on Facebook. There are several parents and families pages, but the Family to Family one is the official UMass one that is strictly for parents only. All right. Well, we're coming up to the limit of time here. So any last questions?
It looks like we have one kind of related to early arrival that just popped
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
My son is doing a short course the weekend of August 28th to August
Mhm.
30th. Is he
Yep.
allowed early dorm check-in on the 31st? And then the
Okay.
second part is, when does the meal plan start? Is it something we need to select? You purchase the meal plan.
Okay. I'm going to make an assumption that your student is probably in the BIOS program and that they are moving in on the 28th into a hall that is not their fall assigned hall. And so what we do in that case is on the morning, the very early morning, 7 a.m. of the 31st, once their program is done, they will swap their keys with us. They'll give back their weekend key, and we'll give them their fall assignment key. And then they will bring their items to their fall assignment. My understanding is that the BIOS program does do some assistance with getting them to their other hall. And if that particular scenario that I just described was not what you're asking about, feel free to email us at residentialservices@umass.edu, and we will be able to speak more directly about your student's situation.
I think we're looking good. I don't see
Okay.
anything new
All right,
popping up.
great. Good. Okay, well then I would like to thank you all for coming, and we will be here every Wednesday through August 19th. So if another question pops up, feel free to log in again and check in with us. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your summer, and we'll see you in September.